Joel, thank you and welcome to the program. Sure, appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Joel, I'd like you to share, you're involved every day in the whole public policy arena and what is going on. And Samaritan Ministries, along with 5 other Christian health sharing organizations, won a war, didn't they, in December? And tell people a little bit of what played out there and what that's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was Samaritan, and it was some colleges. We were actually the only healthcare sharing ministry in that suit, and it was over the contraception mandate. And so, everyone kind of knows about Hobby Lobby. It was similar to that, but what we were part of was, as an employer, to not be required to have to include contraception in the plans that, or have to carry a plan, actually, more specifically, that included contraception. And the real issue with that is a lot of contraception is actually abortifacients.
Yes.
And causes abortions. And so I think that's where the issue gets confused. And that's why, we are solidly pro-life. It's a core value at Samaritan, and that's why we got involved.
And so how did it go?
We won. And so it is, I was asking our council a few weeks ago, I'm like, is it done? Kind of thing. They said yes. So it's one of those where it's not ongoing. So we, along with these other groups, Alliance Defending Freedom, was really kind of the carrier of that. So we are good. And so we praise God that, watching over and we can, our conscience is clear in terms of how we run, Samaritan as a business even.
That's great. Samaritan Ministries, I know you're on the public policy side, but I would suspect that you guys felt that was a pretty important battle to have, because I would suspect that you're the age group of those coming to Samaritan Ministries. I just know from my program and from the people I get emails from and talk to, I'm saying, look, one of the number one debts in the country for young people is healthcare costs later in life, because they started out with no health care at all. So is that pretty much what's happening?
Yeah, it's we're seeing younger and younger, and trying to tap into the younger than millennials, and even what they call the invincibles that don't think that they need anything until they do, and just showing them that they can be financially responsible, and that with the low cost of Samaritan, that they can still be financially responsible, and that they can also honor God in the way they're spending their money, and not having to pay for things that are outside their conscience. And in a number of states that they don't have any other option. If they were to go get insurance, that is going to include, through their healthcare dollars, they're going to be paying for things outside their conscience, like abortion.
So we've got a guy that works for us here at the ministry who is in Brazil. Now, okay. He was here. So he had they wouldn't renew his visa. He had to go back. He's doing some great work for us there in Brazil, and he's still on the payroll. But and he was, of course, our plan here, our group plan here at our ministry is Samaritan Ministries. So sure. Speak a little bit about, because if you have traditional kind of healthcare and not health sharing, that might be a concern, wouldn't it? If you move to another country, obviously you're talk about out of network. That's about as out of network as you can get. It's not going to cover a lot of that. Tell us a little bit about Samaritan Ministries if you're seeing growth in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. Since Samaritan's not insurance, it is extremely portable, and so we have a number of missionaries. That's probably the largest population of members that are outside the country would be missionaries, and all we ask of them, since they're self-pay patients, is that if necessary, they translate the bills to English so that we understand what we're working with when they send it in to us, so that we understand, broken leg or a heart attack or whatever it is, and then also, if necessary, translate it to U.S. dollars. So again, so we know what we're working with. And other than that, it's that's really all they have to do. They can see any provider they want in the country, just like here. That's one of the great things about Samaritan is you're never out of network. You can see the providers you want to see and make that choice yourself based on your area and based on what you know about the providers. So it's wonderful.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joel. Go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have numbers of missionaries all over the country.
So, it was interesting. We had, I do a conference call with partners of this ministry once a month. Last month it was twice, or this month it was twice, probably the same 2 or 3 next month. But so we have tens of thousands of people that hear that conference call, and only maybe 1,000 that might be on the call live, because we put it up on our website for a few days afterwards, and people listen there because we do it in the middle of the day. Last conference call last week, we had 41 states covered, and we had 9 different countries, people from 9 different countries on the call. And we have partners from around the globe, and it is growing. And so if they can come to Samaritan Ministries if they want to get health care, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would even, urge some countries that have, the single payer or the universal health care, if they're finding, long wait times. I mean, you hear these stories about waiting months and months and months. Healthcare sharing like Samaritan is a great option. I mean, they're already paying for the universal, through their taxes, but they, can be on Samaritan, and then they can more than likely get treatment much faster, just on their own through the, paying privately and just turning those bills into Samaritan to be shared among the members.
Yeah, I have friends in Israel that, that's very important to them. Now Israel has a very good healthcare system, but there can be waits. And we have one couple of friends, both of them are doctors, and they have opted out of being a part of any kind of health system for the government. So they only take people that are private pay. And there's a lot of doctors. I said to them, is that common? Yeah, there's a lot of doctors. Almost every specialty, there's doctors that you can go to that are outside that system and get help right away. So Samaritan Ministries would be an ideal situation for a situation like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're hoping we don't have to experiment with it here, but
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out.
Yeah, that's for sure. Samaritan Ministries folks sharing $27 million, facilitating the sharing of $27 million a month. It is an amazing number. 91,000 families, 250,000 or more, probably closer to 300,000 now, people covered by Samaritan Ministries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, we're continuing to grow, and even with, the slowdown we've seen just in the actual insurance industry with the mandate going to zero, there was, some lower numbers coming out of the insurance exchanges, but we're still continuing to grow. And folks like having a choice and having a choice in where they get to see. And so we're seeing it wasn't necessarily cost. It wasn't necessarily even avoiding a government penalty. It's just the freedom they receive, to see who they want to see and use their healthcare dollars that they want to. And so we just are optimistic that we'll continue to grow just, based on that.
Well, it's going to continue to grow. It is an amazing ministry. We are very excited here at Financial Issues to be a part of help and growth in any small way we can be. We sure do appreciate it.